Welcome back. Now we'll take your questions. If you have a question yourself, send it to us at QuranSpeaks.com. So Dr. Shabir, the question today is from Arya Shula from India. And this person says, I study medicine here in India and is a little confused about the destination of those who commit suicide. This person said they've heard conflicting views. So some scholars say they will be punished for eternal hell, while some say they'll be punished by committing suicide the way they did to themselves from now until the end of the world. So the person is asking for clarification about the question. Based on Quran and Hadith, is it an eternal punishment of hell or punishment from the death until the end of this world?
Okay, so the confusion arises from a perceived contradiction between the two statements, that one, that the person would be punished eternally in the life hereafter, and two, that the person would be punished in this world by having this act of suicide being repeated ad infinitum. But the confusion will be simply removed by noticing that the punishment of the repeated action ad infinitum is not going to be in this world, but also in the life hereafter. That too is in the life hereafter. So this is not, it's not in contradiction with those who said that the person would be punished eternally in the life hereafter.
So technically it's as soon as your life ends here, that would be considered in the life hereafter.
In the life hereafter, and one would continue doing that action according to a hadith that speaks about this. However, I'd like to make 2 points about this very quickly. I don't know how much time we have.
We have time, go ahead.
First, the idea that people will be punished eternally in the life hereafter has proved to be a difficult one for people in modern times to conceive of, because we think of any action, no matter how bad, to be of a limited duration, and to think that the punishment for this will be eternal seems to be a little bit excessive. But some important scholars in the history of Islam have said that the punishment in hell will not be eternal. And I'm inclined towards that view. The second thing is that when we think in Islam about things being good and bad, often we associate the goodness of a thing with the rewards that God will give us, and the badness of a thing with the punishment that God will mete out to those who perform that action. And sometimes this emphasis on the rewards or punishment blurs the thinking, the moral sense that we should have, that something is really good, we ought to do it. Something is really bad, we ought to stay away from it. So a lot of the thinking needs to refocus on this, because when we think about rewards and punishment, sometimes we forget that the thing itself is bad. For example, in committing suicide, what's bad about suicide? If you think about this, God is the one who gives life and takes life, and God gives us tests and trials in this life, and some of the trials may be very difficult, and sometimes people succumb under this heavy dose of trials, and they figure, okay, easy exit is to commit suicide. But what's bad about this is that one is doing what God is supposed to do, taking one's own life now, and two, one is escaping that reality that God is placing the person in. And what is needed now is for us as human beings, as creatures and servants of God, to bear our situations with patience and by returning to God. So this is the kind of mindset I feel we need to develop more. The mindset that says, okay, this thing is right, I ought to do it. This other thing is wrong, I ought to stay away from it. Not because that there's going to be a punishment if I do it, but simply because it's wrong, and that's the person I am. I'm a humble servant of God. I need to do what is right and avoid what is wrong.
And when you talk about patience, it also entails seeking the right mental health supports and helping you cope through that.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
Hey YouTube, we hope you benefited from this video. If you liked it, or if you didn't, let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more, check out some of our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.